Okay, hello. This is Patty, and I'm going to show you how I made this card. It has some water in it, and it's kind of cool for this little mermaid and lighthouse. There's quite a few sets in Stampin' Up! Right now that you could actually use this on, but see, that's water in there. So now I will show you pretty much how I did this. I'm going to jump a few steps just so that it doesn't take a long time to do this video. So maybe if I leave this, I'll leave that kind of right there so you can see. So what I used, the two stamp sets that I used the Sailing Home, and I also used the Magical Mermaid. There, figured I'd turn on a light so maybe you can see better. So these are the two stamp sets that I used on here. The lighthouse and the birds came from this set. And then the mermaid, of course, and the seaweed stuff came from this set. So those are the two sets we used. Now let's move on to the card. So basically, these are the pieces of your card. So you're going to need an A2 card, 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. And then you're going to need this little frame. Now how I did this frame, I'm going to actually show you that piece of it. So this is just a 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 piece of paper. And I have washi taped all these frames together. These are the rectangle stitched frames. And then I actually just laid it on here like this, ran it through my Big Shot. And when I took it off the Big Shot, this is what it looked like. And then on the back, and it's kind of good, it didn't cut all the way through on some of it. So what I did on the back was I just took my white liner tape and kind of ran it on there. So that way, I have a way to adhese my frame down, and it's also holding the layers together, which is a good thing. So that's what I did. That's what I did with this piece, okay? So that moves us to this piece here. Then I took a piece of white. This is 3 3/4 by 5. And it was just a piece of white, and I've already put my tape on the back. I told you this was going to be as quick as I could get it to go. And then I blended the blue in the background. Then I stamped the seaweed on there. I stamped the mermaid on a separate piece of paper, cut her out, and then put her on there. You could actually mask around her, but I just felt it was easier to do it that way. Stamped a couple birds, did a little coloring with the blends, and that's how I got that base. So kind of if you look at it, there's what we got going there. Now, to make the water pocket, that's what we'll call it, the water pocket. I bought this vinyl. You can get it at like Joann's. It's just, they sell it by the yard. I bought a 1/2 yard, which is making a lot of these. I cut it down to whatever size you're going to be doing your card. This I cut down to 3 1/4 by 5. And then you kind of just put them together. And then once you have them together, take a piece of parchment paper. That's all this is a piece of parchment paper. Put your plastic in there, fold it in half, give it a good crease. Fold it in half, put your, oops, got some flying around paper. Put it in there, and then what you're gonna take, if you have a hair straightener, this is what you need. This is the little tool that you need to do this. It's just my basic hair straightener. And you're going to take it, and you're just going to go right against where that edge is. And you just kind of run it up, run it down, And I kind of go over it twice. And then pull it out. And you'll actually see it's melting it. So it's melting that side. Then take and turn it around, do the same thing, put it in your crease there, and then just take this. I kind of work from the middle out, and then I work from the middle out again on the other end. And then you can work from one end and work all the way across. Okay, then, so we got that good on both sides. Now you're going to take one end of it and do the same thing. Put it in that crease line of your parchment paper, and then just do the same thing. Run it across, and you're just barely on the tip of your straightener. So run it across. And I guess if you don't have a straightener, you probably could do this with an iron. I would just say you have to be really careful. And then what I do is I just kind of give it one last over, because it is water that's going to go in the bag, and you don't want the water to spill. So then we'll take one more side. Perfect. Put your straightener aside, but don't put it where it's going to burn you. Okay, so now we still have this pocket, and that's what it basically is now, is a pocket. So you can kind of see it's like a little pocket there. Then the next step is I bring in, here's some water here. Let me move my card out of the way. There's the water. And you're just going to take a couple spoons. Just take a couple. This is a really small spoon, so I think I did 3, maybe I did 4 of them, but it only is getting half of the water. I guess if I filled the bowl more. So I did 4 little spoons. You can see how much water I have in there. And then your next step is to take a little food coloring. And this is blue. I apologize for my thumb is all green because I was stamping something and stuck my finger right in the... And then I just put 2 drops. 1, 2. So there's my 2 drops of food coloring. Cover it up. You don't want to spill it on your stuff. And then just shake up your bag. So you can kind of fold the top too and just give it a good shake. So see that? There's your water. And then what I do is I kind of pinch it around just to make sure nothing's going to leak. Okay? This is the part I'm going to tell you I had a hard time with, but I finally have figured it out, is to put a little bit of glitter in the water. And when I say a little bit, the tiniest bit, and it's got to be the really fine glitter. See how much is on that spoon? Am I in the camera? There it is. See how much is on that spoon? It's very, very little. Drop that in. And that's it. So that's what you want to put for your glitter. And it just gives the water a little glistening. Yeah, just gives it a little sparkle. I tried it with different ones, and I just really messed it up. So now the next thing you're going to do is you want to try to get as much air out of here that you can. But don't want your water to come out. So that looks pretty good right there. So then hold this. Bring back your parchment paper. Put that end that you want to seal up, the only end that's not sealed, bring back in your straightener and go across. And a couple times just to make sure you got it. One of the things I always do is I just kind of feel it, and if it's really hot, I know I sealed it really well. So, and then you can take, I'm seeing here that there's a little extra there. You can just kind of cut that off to make it even if you want. You can leave it depending on how your cover-up's going to be. And then that's it. That's how you make your little water pocket. It's got a couple air bubbles in there, but that's okay because, you know, she's coming up to the surface. So Then you just take your, so now we're going to take our card base and we're going to put this on the card base. And that's why I did this earlier, so it would kind of be done. And I didn't have to color and all that stuff. I didn't want it to be a long video. And then kind of center this on your card. Okay, so we got that on there. Next thing you're going to do is you're going to take your little water pocket and you're going to put some adhesive on this, around it. And just put it on all 4 of your corners, or your edges, I should say, not corners. Okay, and then I like to just kind of go over it just to make sure it's sticking well, especially because you're putting it on plastic. And then I'm going to take that off. And I'm going to do this in my class this week, so hopefully this is going to work out well. As long as nobody burns themselves. Okay, then you're going to take this and you're going to lay it. And I guess you can kind of look at which end you like better. I'm going to go this way. And then kind of center that on your card, because remember, you got extra on there too. So put that on. And there you go. Is that cool? Isn't that just the coolest thing? And then it looks like she's popping out of the water. And then the next thing you're going to do, on the back of here, you already have all that adhesive because you were holding your frame together. So pull those off. And then you'll be able to attach it to your card. So I got that one kind of stuck. And then, and you know, my stamping and my coloring, I had that done ahead of time, so that's why it's a little bit quicker doing it this way. So now take your little frame, and you're gonna, making sure you're covering your white edges and not really worrying as much about your inside, because whatever way that's going to, you're still gonna have your water showing there. So there we go. How cool is that? I like this part. I like going like this and just kind of mixing it up. Okay, so there is the base of the card. Now I took my lighthouse and I pumped that up. So let me get some pop-ups. I forgot to pull those out. And we got some pop-ups. So, which actually I just noticed I forgot to color my lighthouse light. So let me do that. And this is Dark Daffodil Delight. I'm sure any of the yellows would work. So, just take it and put some pop-ups, but kind of grabbed the wrong ones. I'd rather use the bigger ones, so let's use those. Okay. Oh, and we don't want to put that on yet anyways. I just realized I forgot one part. Okay, on here, if you noticed, I put some sand. And basically how you do the sand is, I did it on crumb cake. I put white liner tape on one side of it before I die cut the edge out. And then you're going to pull this off. And remember, it's going to be very sticky because you got white liner or any kind of sheet adhesives on there. I put it in my little tray. And then I'm going to take, I have some sand, but I think you could actually use any kind of fine sand. And then I just sprinkle that on. Sprinkle that. And then, and I guess you can do it that way. I normally use my little, I have a little brush that I just go like this and kind of brush off any excess if there's any. And then we'll move that aside. And then I just take this, put some white liner on the back. And take that off. Put that across your card base here. I left a little blue showing on the bottom. I guess you could do it either way. Maybe I won't show the blue on the bottom this time. Maybe I'll just put it all the way. Yeah, I think I like that. Okay, now take your lighthouse that you've popped up and take off the little things. Okay, put your lighthouse on. I kind of went up a little bit on it. And you can take your little snips and cut off this side of that side. And then if you noticed, I'm not sure if anybody noticed that, but if you got the June paper pumpkin, you got these really cool sand dollars and starfish. So I just took a couple of those and stuck them right over here. And let me see, I'm just going to stick some. Okay. Well, oh, there it is. I'm just going to stick a little bit of this on the back. Maybe I'm not. Okay, doesn't want to stick. So let's not do that. You know what? Let's just stick a little glue dot on there. How's that? A little pop-up. It's not sticking either. Because those are from the paper pumpkin that didn't stick. All right, look, we're just going to stick some glue dots on there. And call it a day. Okay, so let's stick this one right here, and let's stick this guy, I don't know, right over here. There we go. All right, there you go. There is your mermaid in water. Kind of a cool little technique there. So, and like I said, I love doing this. I just think that's like the coolest thing. So there you go. There is the 2 mermaid cards. If you have any questions, please leave them below. And if you have not already subscribed to my channel, please subscribe. I just started doing videos, so I would love to get some more subscribers. And I hope you all have a great evening. Thank you for watching. Bye-bye.